A couple of weeks ago, I went to Busch Gardens Tampa, and that's where I found my new number one, Cheetah Hunt. If you need a full explanation on that, which I'm sure many of you do, I have an entire video on it on my channel, and it's easily the best video I have, so go check it out after this one, of course. But I'm gonna be honest, aside from Cheetah Hunt, I was left pretty disappointed with the park. This is a park that people have been hyping the life out of for me, saying it's got one of the best lineups in the US, but to be honest, at the end of the day, I was left a little unfulfilled. Everything was just very bland. There wasn't a whole lot of flavor, which I know sounds weird about a park with a giant cobra statue, but hear me out. First of all, I want to preface this by saying I didn't write tigress or scorpion, so I'm not going to be taking those into account, but really, are those two clones really going to change my opinion that much? I don't think so. But of the 5 rides I did go on, here's how I would rank them. Cheetah Hunt, Shikra, Kumba, Montu, and Cobra's Curse. Yes, I know, there's a lot wrong with this list. You know why Cheetah Hunt's at number 1? Shikra is there because I just like dive coasters. Kumba was hauling ass because it was a sunset ride. I rode Montu first thing in the morning, so it wasn't warm, but the layout was still pretty good. And then there's Cobra's Curse, which is just a family coaster, but it's a pretty good one. Overall, this lineup is good, but it's missing that jaw dropper. The most common favorite in the park is Montu, which is a great B&M invert, the best I've been on in fact, but it's tough having a B&M invert as your anchor attraction. It's just not ideal, no matter how good it is. Banshee is probably one of the best B&M inverts out there, but that's not even close to the best in the park. Black Mamba has Terran, Great Bear has Skyrush, Afterburn is Fury. There's always a companion coaster to lead the way. The only one that is able to pull off a headline is Nemesis, but that's a whole nother monster from any other invert, so I don't really count it. Montu is great, but it's just hard to have an invert as a star. For me, my favorite is Cheetah Hunt, but I can acknowledge that that doesn't have the strongest layout in the park, and that's not going to be a lot of people's favorites. I just like it for the nostalgic feeling it gives me and gliding around like a cheetah, but again, more on that in the full video. Layout-wise though, it's not amazing from that Forces perspective. You need an anchor that's great from that Forces category. You know, just a classic, really good roller coaster. Something to be the standout of the park and pull everything together. An Intamin Blitz can do this, but Cheetah Hunt is not your average Intamin Blitz. It's quite unique. All the other coasters at BGT seem like good coasters, but good supporting coasters. Just appetizers and sides. Yeah, I like mashed potatoes and green beans, but I need my steak to fill me up. That's what Iron Gwazi is. Something I can just dig my teeth into and rip apart. It's a ride that pulls everything else together and complements any one of the rides as a good top 2. No matter what your number 1 at the park is right now, Iron Gwazi will be a great complement to it. If it's Cheetah Hunt like myself, Iron Gwazi brings the intensity while Cheetah Hunt brings the storytelling. If your favorite is Montu, then Iron Gwazi brings the airtime while Montu brings the inversions. Same with Kumba. If it's Shikra, then Shikra is a smooth, graceful ride while Iron Gwazi is a tempting homicide. It all works. It all fits together so seamlessly. RMCs are just incredible anchoring attractions because they're just so versatile. Iron Gwazi's got the big entrance and the purple lights and the wooden track going everywhere. You can see that monster from anywhere in the park. It's intimidating unlike anything else. More than Shikra, more than Kumba, obviously more than Montu and friggin' Cobra's Curse. It gives the park that centerpiece that you're going to see right from the parking lot, and come on, let's talk about the location. Like right by the main gate, that's one of the first large coasters you're going to see. I mean, it's also going to be a great ride, which is just the cherry on top, but you know, it's a good centerpiece. BGT right now kind of reminds me of Cedar Point before Steel Vengeance. Yeah, it's a great park, but it's missing something. It only makes sense that Steve is regarded by many as the best in the world. I mean, this park is such an iconic park with so many record-breaking coasters that, yeah, when they were going to find their centerpiece, it had to be the best in the world. All the coasters at that time was like tapas. A lot of pretty solid stuff, some of it being even really good, but it will never be as fulfilling as a full meal. Steve is a freaking 3-course meal in itself. I mean, look at it. That's what Iron Gwazi will be for BGT. That final hype ride that puts the cherry on top. I'm doing too many food references in this video. I need to stop. If you haven't been to VGT, stop hyping it up for yourself. It doesn't have one of the best collections in the country. None of the coasters will take your number 1 unless you're crazy like me, and you'll probably get through all the rides by midday because honestly, there's really not that many. I would say wait. Just wait till Iron Gwazi opens and deal with the crowds because right now, there's an empty void at the forefront of the park lineup that needs to be fulfilled, and it's sitting right there, teasing you. BGT is a pretty good park as it is, but Iron Gwazi is what's going to elevate it to greatness, up there with Dollywood and Cedar Point. I mean, even the park itself knows it's going to be big. They've been preparing for this for years now. They put a Skyrocket 2 right before starting RMCing to bring the crowds over to that part of the park. They repainted Kumba and Scorpion, 2 old faded rides that they could have easily taken it out, but they repainted it for that fresh factor because they're going to need that capacity. They know it's going to be huge, so they're making sure everything is perfect right before it drops. Look, I know I've been rambling a lot in this video, but I just feel like in the midst of Velocicoaster, Pantheon, Ride to Happiness, and Conda all testing, Iron Gwazi has kind of been shoved under the rug. BGT for some reason is super frugal about testing this ride, and I really could not tell you why. It certainly killed off a lot of hype because while Icebreaker and Velocicoaster in the same state are running with people on it, this thing is just sitting there, chilling. and that kind of sucks. If it had been open, BGT would be one of my top parks, maybe even my number 1, no question. But right now, it's just a lot of filler coasters, a filler park. A lot of high quality rides that just don't go well together. Gwazi will pull it all together and make it the amazing park that it deserves to be.